Hi guys, this is Paul with TweakTown. We're here at Flash Memory Summit 2014, continuing our coverage. And with us right now today, we have Iri Trashanski. He's the Vice President of the SSD business at Marvell. So it's been really a big year in SSDs. We're seeing a lot of fundamental changes, some big acquisitions. Can you kind of give us a feel of what Marvell is doing?
So yeah, it's a big year. You see the market growing from a unit perspective, volume perspective. Way many more petabytes and exabytes are going toward SSDs. So it's a beautiful year for the market, and I believe that's just the beginning. We've seen a lot of movement moving from SATA. We see a lot of excitement about PCIe, and especially about PCIe Gen 2.4, more towards the enthusiast market. And we're seeing the market coming up with a Gen 3 products towards the Skylake by Intel introduction for 2015, and this is a market that we invest a lot in as a company. I think we've seen one major acquisition, which is actually LSI moving to Avago, now moving to Seagate. Still not clear what the future is, but truth to be told.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation that Seagate may not actually wish to sell controllers in the long term, but you know, that's speculation. But we've also noticed that since then, some of the other players, such as Phison, SMI, a lot of other guys are becoming a lot more vocal than we've seen them in the past, and we're starting to see a few more products with their type of processors. What do you think about that, and how do you feel that affects Marvell?
I think first of all, it's a big market. So, and you have to get a couple of solutions in the market. So if LSI moving away, it's giving some places to those type of vendors. If you're looking at Phison, Silicon Motion, J-Micron, they've been in the business for a long time, but was never able to complete or build a good enough product, even for the retail market. But with LSI getting out, people want to have a second source.
Absolutely.
A lot of times they're going to go and work with them, get a full turnkey and work. And I do think, they have good technology. They've been in the business for a long time. The question is, can they continue and sustain innovation and build products? Because a lot of them just shipping their first SATA 6G product.
Yeah.
We've done that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The market is moving to PCIe, and PCIe is way more complex than doing a SATA product. Based on the performance you need to hit, you want to support NVMe, high number of IOPS, and moving down onto a lower processes. So it's becoming way more complicated to compete in the market, and you have a complete product and roadmap all across, from really early on access product to the high-end enterprise, and this is where we play.
There's also been a lot of people banging the drum saying, hey, if you don't have your own SSD controller as an SSD manufacturer, that you're not really totally vertically integrated, and you really can't win. Now, I noticed with the hard disk drive market, they sell billions a year.
Yeah.
And none of them make their own controllers. They use their own secondary controllers from outside sources. How do you think that Marvell gives a manufacturer advantages over deploying their own SSD?
So first of all, Marvell is also the market leader in hard disk drive controllers.
Correct.
And I think our customers are always trying, because they bring some value, but it's really about the execution, the product set of features, and the price point that you can reach, even with an external component. Looking at building external, using external controllers, everybody's saying, I might use my own, it's going to be cheaper. But nobody's looking about the cost of building those. It's not only the silicon cost, it's the cost of tools. Moving from 55 to 40 to 28, tools are way more expensive to design those projects. I do want to talk even about the mass cost and that, which are like quadruples across time, but also about building IPs. You have to build a totally new set of IPs moving from 55, 40 to 28, and that's a huge investment. And when you're building it towards one high-runner product, eventually the ROI is not clear. If you look at Marvell, we have a portfolio of SSD product, but also a lot of IPs coming from the hard disk drive, a lot of IPs coming from our networking, enterprise, and mobile. So we have access to all of that. We have the right relationship with the fabs, we have the right set of tools, so we can design it efficiently and on time and support their needs. A lot of the customer will still want to work and build their enterprise grade. Because this is where you can get some differentiation, you can get some extra dollars per gigabyte or extra cents compared to client. But we believe that some of them will try doing it, and one which is done pretty well is vertically integrated. I think the rest is going to be very hard for them.
So turning to people with specialty expertise and experience is important.
Yeah.
I think a significant differentiator with Marvell is your 28 nanometer process. I believe we're pretty sure it's the smallest out there. Can you give us an example, or maybe tell us a little bit about the advantages of using 28 nanometer?
So 28 nanometer has a couple of advantages. You know, eventually it's going to be cost. It's going to be power, and the ability to build multiple products. And that's going to be the next platform after 55 and 40. The next platform is 28, and that's going to stay for a long period of time. So we are moving and transforming all our products toward there. And eventually you're going to see the value, especially in leakage and power consumption, which is becoming a key part of SSDs today.
And would you say going down to smaller sizes such as 28 nanometer, do you think that might weed out some of the other players, some of the smaller guys?
The question is, do they have enough OpEx to spend to do that? As I mentioned before, it's hundreds of millions of dollars of investment to build a product. McKinsey had a report from a year and a half ago showing that if you want to build a new 28 nanometer product, it's $100 million, give or take. Even if it's a $50 million, you need to send a lot of controllers in order to recoup your investment.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And that's not easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of time and expertise needed for that. So. Alrighty, well, we appreciate you stopping by. It's always good and informative. Thanks, Iri.
Thank you very much.
Yep.